Forest Railway line, running from Parkend in the north all the way down to the junction in the south by the side of the river. We'll begin our approach from just having left Whitecroft. Signal box. Hasn't changed a great deal. Layout looks identical. Filming from the top of the crossover bridge and looking in the other direction off towards Lydneyland. Bottom of the pedestrian bridge used to be a gate here by the looks. Goodness me, look at all those cables there, signal cables and points, rods. Blimey. Signs like the water tower is still in use. Looking at the state of oil dropped on the track just there, or the engine stands. Well, glad I'm not a passenger then. That's so we don't upset the neighbours, I guess. Water tower looks better used from here. That's the water column just to there. Looks for all the world as if they light a fire in there in the winter, stop the tube from freezing, I guess. Yeah, that's backlit, so we might not see too much. Blue brick for the engineers to stand on, slip on in the winter. It looks authentic. What a beautiful scene. Load engaged by the side of the signal. I don't know whether that was an engine shed or a goods shed. Could be goods, I guess, because there's no door on this end. And I think the engine shed is across the road. See that later. Showing where the rails went. Old siding. And in the opposite direction. And off to the side of the road, got to be the old engine shed, hasn't it? Wonderful restoration. Need tickets for the waiting room? Of course not. Bit of a rude shelter on this side. We've got quite cosy in there, I imagine, in a rainstorm. Severn Bridge. The accident with that one, which was out of commission, hastened the closing of the passenger service for this railway. Cinderford Station. Wonderful if I could hold that still. Not glamorous, but it's essential services. There's a fair few levers in there. That accounts for all these pulleys and rods then. Right next door to the signal box. No crossing gates. Still used for running round. And that way would have been Cinderford and all the rest of them back in the day. Some lovely detail on this gate and support. Bit of broad gauge here doing some work to the fence post. Same design on the other side as you would expect. A substantial locking mechanism, as you might expect. And built to last. That looks like the bell crank mechanism that used to open and close the gate from the signal box. Now it's a manual job. Stone built platform, as you would expect. Local product, no doubt. Well, the sunlight at that angle brings it out a treat, doesn't it? This is interesting. We've got single bolt chairs, rail chairs, which are old, on concrete sleepers. Must be where the engine stands then. Looking at the oil. Some wheel sets, awaiting use. For all you sign lovers. Well worn grips. They've done some work. Rubber tyres, nice and quiet. Another pulls to read job. There you go. Yeah, good shed. Look at those doors. A deluxe version. Oversized wheels and cart springs. Completely shackled. Plate layers, equipment. And the colourful trees, beloved by railways everywhere. Well, I think that's Parkend done. Right, let's mosey on back to Whitecroft. Crossing gates on the horizon. And that's the next protocol, Whitecroft. The butt end of what would have been sidings, I guess. Signal box could do with a lick of paint. Right, well, I'll have to reduce my wife's housekeeping if that happens. See if we can go get an invite. Hello. Nice day.
Lovely.
For not working.
Yeah.
It certainly goes on and on. Big chimney down the other end too. Old style hinges. Well, that's a big beastie, whatever that is. Good shed, you suppose? Oh, that's a great long something. Don't quite know what. And it's a reflection. Right, reached the end then. End of the platform. And that's the railway disappearing towards Lydney. And that's looking the other way, towards Parkend, Fortadine, Cinderford, all that lot. How many miles has that travelled, I wonder? Very early type suspension with leaf springs there. Oh, how many passengers has that carried? Well, that's Whitecroft. I don't want to outstay my welcome. Make these guys nervous with a camera. Thank you guys, that's very kind of you.
That's all right.